Welcome, everyone, to Doctor Who Reviews. But not just any episode of Doctor Who Reviews. This is episode 200. I know, I can't believe it either. This is not the 200 it was supposed to be, however, because things have happened. A lot of things.
A bunch of people asked for some rights, and they were eventually given them.
We're going to get to that, but this is more of a personal thing. So our guests that we had lined up for 200 can't make it to the new year, and that's absolutely fine. But you might be wondering why we didn't do the specials, when the specials came out, and the answer is me. I have had a hell of a time this past year, and I won't go into details, but a tragedy happened. Everyone's been very, very supportive online and offline, so thank you for that. But the other of it was I just had no time to get this done until right now, so I do apologize, but it couldn't be helped. I'm back now, and we're back now. And we're talking about the first of the three Tennant specials, The Star Beast. And to discuss The Star Beast with me, I'm joined by my three co-hosts. That's right, three co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, it's the hard game beater himself. It's Frezno.
Hooray! Welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews, and I am not alone, since The Star Beast is an adaptation of an old Doctor Who comic. I figured we needed some expertise on this podcast, and so I asked for the help of none other than comics critic and Doctor Who Reviews guest star beforehand on shows like Paradise Towers, Sean Dillon. Take it away, Sean!
If you're listening to this, that means Frezno has once again tried to get me to appear on a podcast. This time, no doubt to talk about my comic book knowledge regarding Beep the Meep and Doctor Who and the Star Beast. Fortunately, I actually did watch the episode, and Lena didn't call dibs. Elizabeth Sandifer called dibs, so I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
God damn everything. Okay. We can go with that. You know what? All this calling dibs stuff. Doctor Who Reviews. We're planting our flag. We're making our claim. We officially call dibs on Sean Dillon on our Church at Ruby Road podcast.
Imagine he's going to agree to that.
Well, stranger things have happened. It could be a Christmas miracle.
Stranger things have happened. Kate Bush was #1 for a song that she released in 1983 this year. So, yeah, you're right.
What? Wait, 83? What song?
Running Up the Hill.
It was in Stranger Things
from
season
85.
4.
Oh, I'm out by 2 years. Sue me.
All right, I'll get the paperwork drawn up. You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
That was not a request. Anyway,
bad. We're American. That's what we do. We sue people.
Anyway, to my virtual right, don't blame her, blame Brett. Wait a minute. It's Cock of Usurper, better known as Cat. Wait a minute.
I mean, you can blame me either way. I won't care. I'll just sue your ass. I'm American.
When I found out that was a song, by the way, I did a double take. Like, who are upset now? What? I don't remember the singer. I don't remember ever meeting the singer. How have I upset her? No, she's talking about her ex. She's talking about a different Brett.
What's really funny is Chris actually has a brother named Brett.
Really?
So I have to specify which one I'm talking about sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear what Brett said the other day? No, not that one.
Not that one.
No, the other one.
I'm going to find a third one just to really make it worse.
Name changed to Brett. Not that one.
3 of them. I didn't know when I was well off.
There's many Bretts as there are David Tennants.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
I want to think of there's more Bretts than there are David Tennants, but whatever.
Rain, who's in your virtual center?
I was going to say he's given it away by talking already, but last but not least, we've successfully dragged him away from Carmen Rider long enough to get him to record with us. It's Kuchiri.
Yo,
Hey.
you know, if there's one thing I can do to get why did I just blank on his name? Sean Dillon onto my podcast.
Is it to plug Carmen Rider?
Chloroform and some handcuffs.
Kuchiri, I'm going to give you 3 magic words that might just make that happen. Shin, Kamen Rider.
Ooh, no. I was going to say, give me 1 second. Pulling up the thing. I didn't have this prepared because I didn't know I was going to be talking about this.
What the hell's that?
Kamen Rider build. He said in the first podcast. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He said he wants to be part of a build podcast.
Neat.
Oh no, the title's rearranged on Google. We're going to have to completely restart the podcast. It's awful.
Anyway,
That was like Kuchiri is hosting. Wait a minute, he is hosting.
I'm
Carry on.
always hosting. What are you talking about?
That's your introduction for next time.
The true host
No,
is
hosting,
the
it's
inside of our
Kuchiri.
hearts.
Anyway, Sean, if you're listening, Kamen Rider Build, get in touch.
Anyway, Sean, if you're listening, why?
But anyway, Rain, we have been away from this space for close to half a year. What has happened in the world of Doctor Who since we decided to stand in solidarity with those striking actors and writers?
Thank you for bringing the strike up. Well, that was the other reason why we couldn't talk about this yet, but it also coincided with the personal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so quite a lot happened in that 6 months, didn't it? And it all kicked off in earnest on Children in Need night, where we got a sneak preview of the new Doctor, the 14th Doctor played by David Tennant.
I actually watched this. It was really funny.
This is nice.
It was a nice little, neat little funny sketch for 5 minutes, and it kicked off some controversy.
As you do.
Because what kind of current Doctor Who stuff don't kick off controversy?
I mean, that is true. So the sketch is basically set before
Genesis.
Genesis of the Daleks. Thank you, Kuchiri. Yeah. The Genesis, I did nearly say Remembrance by mistake. I'll get it together. Don't worry about it.
No, we're here for you, buddy.
Genesis of the Daleks. God, I missed you guys. Genesis of the Daleks. It's set before that, and it's basically the colour scientists showing off their prototype Dalek for the first time. There's no mutant in the Dalek yet. It's just the shell, and it's got a really vicious-looking claw on it. That's not the controversy. And through the course of the sketch, the Doctor shows up in the TARDIS, breaks the claw by mistake, runs into the TARDIS,
Plunger.
yeah, gets a plunger, puts it in, and then Davros turns up and says, "What's happened to my claw? I like that plunger," and that's basically how the Daleks have the plunger.
He also accidentally names the Daleks when he's like, "Oh, that's a Dalek," and the guy's like, "Oh, that's a really good name."
Yes, because the guy's trying to come with an anagram of car lead. He's talking about Adlec.
I mean, the much better outcome of this is the Doctor Sure just said, "You should also be DJs. That'd be much better for you."
I mean,
Someone
the
will
last
get
DJ to go against the Daleks didn't. The last DJ to go against the Daleks didn't really fare too well.
Moderate success.
He blew up one and then got shot. That's not moderate success.
I mean, I think DJ Khaled is doing pretty good for himself.
Oh, that was the joke. Oh,
Yes, that was the
I
joke.
got the joke immediately. I was trying to take to the show.
Anyway, to get back to the point, Davros is walking around. The very first time we've seen Davros not in his chair.
It's been completely redesigned. Yeah. Now Davros is just Julian Bleach.
Yeah.
With no real prosthetics or makeup. And look, Julian Bleach, great actor. Fantastic Davros. That's not the controversy. The controversy is why he's not in the wheelchair anymore, because Russell T Davies thought he was trying to help.
Yeah.
He thought that.
How?
So the reason why he's not in a wheelchair is the controversial thing here, because on Doctor Who Unleashed, which is the new behind-the-scenes companion show to Doctor Who, it's basically Doctor Who Confidential Reborn, which is a good thing. Davies talked about why he did this, and he had an interesting attitude. He said that in his opinion, too many people associated wheelchair users with evil, like Blofeld in James Bond. And he did not want that to continue, so that's why he took Davros out of the wheelchair.
Okay, this is my first time hearing this news, so I have one response to this. Naughty the fuck?
I did say it was controversy.
What the actual fuck?
He was criticized for this.
But the thing is, it's not even a wheelchair. It's like half a Dalek shell that he's just chilling in with a bunch of weapons.
It's a life support
dog-dogs.
system. It's a life support system on the show. Anyway, the reason why this is so controversial is that he clearly didn't ask wheelchair users before he did this change, because wheelchair users were not happy. They saw this
Really?
they saw this as correcting a problem that didn't exist. They were not offended by depictions of villainy, being in wheelchairs or being disabled at all. They hadn't even thought about it. And do you remember the Davros cosplayer who happens to live about 10 minutes away from where I live?
Vaguely.
He's got an amazing Davros cosplay with like a stained glass wheelchair Davros seat. It's amazing. He wrote an impassioned thread on Twitter, basically saying why this was a bad idea. And it's obvious that Russell T Davies did not really consult with anybody in a wheelchair before he made this decision. If it had just been
No, honey.
if it had just been that it was, prior to Davros' accident, that would have been fine. That's an absolutely good reason to not have him in a wheelchair. It's to try and justify having it from now on. And it sounds like if Davros ever returns, this will be the design from now on. And it's just Julian Bleach in a costume.
Ew.
So I think part of this might be because we will see through these next 3 specials, he's been very focused on making wheelchair users like part of the crew. Yeah,
and that's fine.
And this might just be an overcorrection to everything else that RPD is going to be doing for the next, 3 hours of Doctor Who we're going to be talking about over the next few weeks. What's up, Press?
Well, I was ready to kind of defend this decision on the grounds that, I don't know, defend so much as cut against the people who were yelling at it because, oh my God, the Doctor Who lore is being changed. Russell T Davies is erasing the precious lore. And, that horse shit is just silly. Oh no, you're changing my made up bullshit and making up more bullshit. How dare you? But the fact that Rain said that the actual wheelchair users are taking this not quite so well, when we talk about the trans stuff in the Star Beast, there's also going to be moments of that where there's certain scenes and lines and whatnot that have caused a bit of debate. And I've taken the approach of just listening to the trans Doctor Who critics out there on what they have to say about it, considering that that's who's being represented with these lines. So listen to the marginalized voices and what they have to say instead of the brash white guy in charge, So the fact that Russell T Davies probably had good intentions behind this, but if enough of these people who have to use wheelchairs were taken aback by this, well, it's important to listen to them and let their voices be heard. Kat?
Honestly, I'm going to just say I am not a wheelchair user. I have never been a wheelchair user. I do have a disabled uncle who has lived his entire life with having to use a walker, but that's just about it. But I have seen his struggles with, having to get around. Essentially, the world is not meant for wheelchair users. So honestly, I think any representation could possibly be good as long as it's done the correct way. But this just has vibes like, so... for those of you who might not know, I'm more of a Marvel fangirl, but I am aware of some stuff in DC specifically. And one of the things I was aware of is that there was this big comic, I think it was The Killing Joke, where Barbara, who is Batgirl, got shot by the Joker, and she got put into a wheelchair because she was paralyzed from the waist down. But instead of making her like a sideline character or not important or anything, they put her in as basically Batman's eye in the sky. She became the Oracle. She was doing research, she was finding stuff out for him, helping him find roots. She was just as big a part of Batman as Batman was Batman. And then they just sort of like had the new 52 or whatever it was called, I forget. And they retconned that so she was no longer in a wheelchair because she had some sort of special, surgery that made it so she could walk again. And it's shit like that that I think is the most offensive. And when you start just taking Davros and being like, oh, he's evil, so therefore he can't use a wheelchair, that's sus. That's very sus.
Okay, so I found the person that's objected to this. It was Devros Dalek Sentry on Twitter at Dedros3, and just to give you an example of this cosplay.
There we go.
And it's coming up.
Look at that!
Holy fucking
that
shit.
is insane!
Wowza.
That is insane!
Isn't that just the best
gorgeous.
cosplay?
Is it like actual glass or?
Yeah. So lots of guys objected. So that was the controversy about But that was not the only thing that was done while we were away. So for the actual anniversary, the 23rd of November 2023, BBC did two things. The first thing was the Daleks in colour. A 75-minute feature-length cut of the Daleks, which, as you remember, was originally 7 20-minute episodes.
Now, it is interesting to me how they decided to cut it, because on this show, we have one of our many mantras is writers gotta eat. And early 60s Terry Nation is emblematic of that, where it just pads itself out to hell to fit the script quota that it needs. And so there were a lot of parts in the 7-part Daleks. I've seen it. We haven't done it on the show. We did the movie version with Peter Cushing, but there are a lot of things. There are a lot of ways you could trim the fat, so to speak. So I'm interested to hear in what ways they decided to trim it down to 75.
Well, I have to say it was a mixed bag, this, because the colorization looked fantastic. Some of the editing was a bit suspect.
I have heard things that there's a part in, like, I want to say off the top of my head, part 5, part 6, where Ian and the Thals are going to the Dalek City for some shit, and there's this whole runaround jumping across a chasm in a cave, and it's really padded out. It's like half the fucking episode or whatever. I hear they kept all that shit in.
They did. That wasn't the editing choice, but it was more that they would they'd have characters talk about something and then show a flashback scene of what the characters were talking about.
Intriguing.
So it's like, hey, do you remember that time that the Elder got shot by the Daleks and died? And it just showed him getting shot by the Daleks and died. You saw it 5 minutes ago.
That's almost like parody at this point.
And then there was a weird bit, almost like AI generated, where Carol Ann Ford winks at the camera.
Okay.
Like it's like I've got a plan, but because it was edited so strangely, it was like the plan already happened, and there was like triumphant music. It was very strange.
I haven't actually seen this edit. I would be interested in checking it as a
It was a nice idea. It was a nice idea. I think it's on BBC iPlayer, so I'm sure you'll be able to find it somewhere.
As long as you have a VPN and a TV license.
Yes.
But thankfully, they don't check to see what any numbers on your TV license. They just sort of are like, "Do you have one?" Yes. Cool.
Go right ahead.
I'm sure at some point they'll release it on the physical media.
Come in, Captain Blackbeard.
But one wonders why they chose the Daleks and not the very first story, the Unearthly Child.
Oh boy, you've just pushed my buttons.
I have a question for y'all. When was the last time they put the Daleks in a piece of media this year? Was it around New Year's, or was that before the New Year?
This year?
Yeah.
The last Doctor Who episode to have the Daleks in it would have been Power, which was last year in
aired when?
October.
There's why.
October.
They need to keep their license to use the Daleks.
I think that got debunked a while. I don't have a source.
It got debunked, and also Big Finish kind of stopped that anyway because they always use the Daleks, so they're safe.
Source, trust me, bro.
I mean, it's the same rumor that went around like, oh, they have to use every Super Sentai suit in Power Rangers, and then they skip Go Busters for like 8 years and made Beast Morphers.
Yeah. So yeah, why couldn't it be an unearthly child? There was a big controversy there too.
Okay. We got to pause for a second just to build this up because as we said, we were standing in solidarity with the strikes, and we played with the strike order, even though we're not part of SAG-AFTRA. But we stood in solidarity, and we didn't talk about any struck media like Doctor Who until the strike was over. And all this happened during that period. And Rain was chomping at the bit to let his frustrations out at this shit show of a situation. I just wanted to give the proper build-up for your final catharsis. Rain, let's talk about Steph Coburn.
Let me at him.
Oh, I am getting my popcorn.
Stick 'em, boy.
So, this could have been an unearthly child potentially, but for a major thing happening which prevented it from being a thing. So, about a month before the anniversary, there was an announcement that the BBC were putting all existing episodes of Doctor Who, classic and modern, onto their iPlayer service. For the first time ever, all available for free in one place. Big deal, right? Accessibility, great.
Uh-oh.
If you go on the iPlayer, you can't access an unearthly child.
Uh-oh.
It's missing.
Okay,
But
who is Steph Coburn?
Why is the first, ever Doctor Who serial missing? Well, it's all down to a guy called Steph Coburn. And Steph Coburn is the son of Anthony Coburn, who wrote An Unearthly Child.
Oh, no.
You don't know this? It gets worse, Ken.
He withdrew the rights.
I stayed away from Doctor Who stuff for a while.
He for some reason, he has control of the rights to An Unearthly Child.
To
be redistributed.
He inherited them from his late father, I presume.
I guess, yes. But the weird thing is that Anthony Coburn was a staff writer, and staff writers don't usually have that kind of power. But clearly, legally, he had the power to do this. And he's had a beef with the BBC for a long time. He claims it's about not representing his father's legacy fairly. It's not that. Because he's allowed other people to use it. This is definitely a beef with the BBC. And so, because one man said, you can't use this, the first Doctor Who serial is missing from the iPlayer. Thanks, Steph Coburn.
So, hang on, let me get this straight. So, does his father have the lead writer credit for An Unearthly Child?
No.
So, some random guy has come up and said, oh, you're not allowed to use this one because I said so. And the BBC is just like, welp. Surely we do not have the time or the money to be able to fight for the very first episode to show that we're honoring 60 years of. No, it's fine. We're fine.
They fought, but Frezno.
You're burying the lead here a little bit. It's not just that he's denying them access for no reason. No. Uh-oh. The reason Steph Coburn is denying the BBC the rights to The Unearthly Child is because, how shall I put this delicately? He's kind of an unhinged conspiracy theorist / bigot with an axe to grind against the BBC, and he's claimed that he blames them for overworking his father to death, and he is appalled at the diversity that has befallen the BBC, and just
so he's a bigot.
Yes,
that's what he's trying to get to in a way. Yes.
I will just outright say it because he could try to sue me if he wants to. I don't have anything.
I was building up to it, but yeah, I am burying the lead a little bit here.
So
Also, the BBC did attempt to give him what they thought he was legally entitled to get the rights. They offered him £20,000. That's the maximum they can offer, by the way, under union laws. They weren't being stingy. That's the most they could offer. He turned it down. Then it got even crazy because he took he took offense to certain people insulting him over this, including friend of the show Scribble Scripts.
But it's wild because he also had beef with Ian Levine, and Ian Levine is saying Steph Coburn refuses to release the rights to an unearthly child until I and someone called Kevin apologizes to him.
Who the fuck is Kevin?
and Scribble Scripts actually changed their handle on Twitter to someone called Kevin.
And then Ian Levine took it even further because it was basically a fight between two terrible people. But at one point, Ian Levine had the moral high ground and then threw the moral high ground away by trying to stalk Steph Coburn's sister.
And he did eventually kowtow to Steph Coburn and publicly apologize. So, it was kind of a broken clock, right twice a day moment. Where it's like, oh shit, Ian Levine actually based for one moment. Never mind.
Also,
okay, I just saw the meme that you posted. What the fuck?
Yeah, I posted this in response to Kevin a couple of months ago.
Give me 5 seconds. I can present it for you.
Yeah, for some reason my presenting button grayed out.
I'm not even touching it.
There we go.
That's
Amazon.com.
Actually?
Started Time, YouTube, watch TV shows, Hulu, Duolingo, The World's, Twitch, Stream Elements, Stream Closed Caption, Login, Free Credit, My Instance, Essential Tools, Mentis, George Kit, My Web Spam, Compass, Kitten's Game, Scientist.
Exploding Kittens, the game.
No, actually, it's a lot different than that. It's like one of those text-based games that you can play and you push buttons and it's like an idle game.
Yeah, but the final crazy outcome of this is that Steph Coburn on Twitter said that he would never give the BBC the rights, and if something were to happen to him, if he were to die suddenly, he had already taken legal steps for the episode to be sent to Russia.
So my one thing I'm taking from this, which is kind of crazy, why didn't the BBC just get global rights for it? Like in American TV, like
I don't know.
Writers can't randomly be like, oh, you can't put season 5, episode 4 of Supernatural onto another DVD box set because I won't let you.
Mike!
What?
It's not Mike.
No, check the Cora Oswald.
Yes, I know. Mike is referencing Wizard of Oz. It's a day that ends in a Y.
That picture's the permanent representation for Mike representing the Wizard of Oz, by the way.
I uploaded it because of the whole Russia thing, but it works. It
works both ways, yeah. But that was crazy. So Steph Coburn, thanks for depriving the world the chance to see an unearthly child in colour. I hope it makes
I seriously don't get this. I know that America is very sue happy. We will sue for the smallest things. But are you telling me that the BBC, which is like the biggest news, entertainment, everything channel in the UK, as far as I know, can't fight for the rights of the inaugural episode of their 60-year television show? The one that basically has made the BBC what it is?
Even on top of that, the episode has BBC copyright on it and the name Doctor Who, which the BBC owns. Like, the BBC could easily take this guy to court and win, right?
Theoretically, they should be able to win. He is a single writer on this episode and doesn't even have the credit for top writer. Does he?
Oh, no. Okay. What's up, Frez?
Sorry, I just had the thought that we were talking at the top of the show about how you're American and Cat's first instinct is what? He's taking back the rights? We should sue!
I mean, but that's the thing, though. Like, any writer of any show here in America, if they tried pulling this stunt, would just be destroyed, honestly.
Yeah, because honestly, the way it works here is writers sell their script to, whatever production company is going to make the thing. So
what you're telling me is this. You're telling me instead of taxation before representation, it's now litigation before representation.
Basically.
Oh my gosh.
you didn't know this already? I mean, you are American.
God damn.
Hey, it's back.
We've spent so long not talking about the actual episode.
Okay, so that's thank you. He could have had it colorized, he could have made his father's legacy enhanced. No, he had to be petty about it, and so we can't watch it. We can't watch it online. Legally.
Don't get me wrong.
Well,
I get
legally,
it.
you
You
can't watch
see
it
his
online.
shit, but still.
Hang on here.
Anyway, let's talk about Shurigatwa being in the venture.
You kind of revealed the twist before, too. Yeah, but the other thing they showed a new cut of an adventure in space and time for the 60th anniversary.
Right. I just want to add something. This is my copy of Doctor Who: The Beginning on DVD. It has an unearthly child on it. I'm holding it in my hand. You can't take it away from me, Steph. You can't take it away from me.
In before the Russians just come in and take it out of your hand.
It's that Magic the Gathering thing all over again.
Just the red anthem just intensifies and gets louder and louder, and then someone just comes and snatches it out of your hand. So the other thing that they did for the 60th anniversary was to show a new cut of an adventure in space and time, the rather charming documentary drama about the making of the first Doctor Who series, with David Bradley as the first Doctor, and of course he went on to be the first Doctor for real in the show for Twice Upon a Time.
This was good. I watched it during the 50th when it first came out. I liked it.
Yeah, well, they cut 10 minutes out of this version.
I wonder what was in those 10 minutes.
Well, the 10 minutes was actually parts of the Unearthly Child. I should also mention, by the way, at the end of the Daleks color version, they showed a montage of moments from the first Doctor's run in color, which makes me think they could absolutely colorize the old episodes if they wanted to, but they just haven't done it yet.
We saw some colorization, but we'll talk about that.
That clip was actually in the montage, Kuchiri.
Oh, well, find it.
Character.
How's about that?
Yeah, it's like they were foreshadowing or something. But the other major change was at the end of the program, because if you remember, in the 50th anniversary version, David Bradley looks over to the console like, "Where will the show be in 50 years' time?" And then Matt Smith looks back at him, friendly. In this version, it's not Matt Smith. And I'm watching it, I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's not Matt. And then this popped up on the screen, and then spat my drink out.
It's the new Doctor Who.
That wink, 10 out of 10, no notes.
Honestly, I'm really liking him so far.
He's great, but they should have advertised before that this was a new cut for the 60th anniversary. It was like, that is not Matt Smith, what the hell?
Well, I think that was always the intention. Like every time they replay this for anniversary,
they shot that scene on a green screen to include whoever was the current Doctor at the time when they show it again. So that was actually the intention. So that's fair enough. It didn't stop people from going, "What the hell is this all about?" I shared it on Twitter, but I was just laughing about it.
So hopefully in 10 years, we'll have the cut with all the Unearthly Child stuff back in, because the guy was found to be an idiot in court, and we'll have the newer Doctor at the end of the episode. What's up, Frezno?
Okay, I just want to say, again, since it applies to Steph Coburn, like I just did, Adventure in Space and Time with all the Unearthly Child stuff in it is out on physical media. So you can snag yourself a copy. I don't know how much. I don't know if it's like rare or expensive or anything. But the original cut's floating out there. It's not like a Star Wars situation where you rip a laser disc or download a thing and get all up in arms about it. It's not the original vision. My God, sell it to me.
All right.
You can buy it. You can actually go buy it right now. And
So speaking of all the necessary stuff we did in this cold open, how about we talk about unnecessary cold open, Rainiac?
That was a great segue, Kuchiri. Thank you. Also, I'll just point out what Frez said. You can also get it on the 50th anniversary cut on BritBox. If you have BritBox, it's available there. So it's not gone.
Hey.
It's not like, oh, it's gone to allow the new guy in. I was just taken aback by the fact it was Shitty Cutler and not Matt Smith in the moment.
it's funny. I remember on Discord you were like saying, "Oh, what if they edit Shooty Gatwin in there?" And nah, they wouldn't do that.
And then they did.
And then you're freaking out like, "There's no way they did that." Checks Twitter. Holy shit!
As I said, I tweeted about it. I was like, I'm screaming. They actually edited it back, edited out Matt Smith and put in Shooty Gatwin. Amazing.
Beautiful. But now that we have cleared up 5 months or so of a preamble, got it out of our systems, let us discuss the Star East.
Hit the Discord.
I was going to share this, but I can't share this. I found this like the day of.
I got
I'll
you,
put it in
boo.
the post. Check the Discord.
I got you, boo. I got you. Don't worry.
Oh, this is staying up while we talk about this horrible cold open.
Yeah, it's not a horrible cold open. I think it's a necessary vote. So the Star Beast
It's
opens
horrible.
with the Doctor and Donna recapping the events of what happened in Series 4 of Doctor Who, basically. The whole,
I mean,
Donna,
to be fair, with the way they spaced everything, it has been quite some time. I mean,
Donna
it's not
became
like
the
anybody
Donna.
remembers 2008 where the show was good or anything.
Damn it!
No, but really, yeah, you got to do it before. No, but really, I mean, you said on Discord that you were going to make a case for the prosecution against this, but
I was.
all I have to say before you say that is that this isn't for us. This really is for those people who haven't watched since 2008 when the show was good and need the refresher of, I'm Doctor Who, I'm David Tennant, and this was Donna, and we traveled together, but then she lost her memories. I took them so she wouldn't die, and now she's on Earth and she can't remember who she is, or she'll die. Oh no, what a dilemma! But now she's back. Oh goodness gracious! So with that in mind, Kuchiri.
So these specials are exactly 60 minutes long, give or take 1 minute either way. The fact that they spend 4 minutes on this just for both David Tennant and Kathleen Tate to repeat everything they say during this cold open, not even 10 minutes later, is what makes this entirely unnecessary. We could have had other establishing scenes to set up the climax of this, or any other scene whatsoever. Maybe an actual scene between the Doctor and Rose. Maybe Rose bumps into the Doctor. What Culture did have a good point. This should have been like a 4-minute thing on Disney Plus or YouTube. Like you could click and watch before the episode started. What's up, Kat?
Well, the thing that really gets me is that, like, this just reminds me of that whole Capaldi thing where he was explaining what a bootstrap paradox is, and then, like, in the same episode, he explains what a bootstrap paradox is. It is completely unnecessary to me. There's no reason to do this at all. Like, if they had taken this and released this as something special before the episode, so that people could watch it and get a recap of what they might have forgotten, that I can understand. But making it the cold open doesn't feel right to me. It just feels unnecessary.
And then considering they also use scenes from the Giggle in this, like the shot of Rose from this opening is from the Giggle. So you could tell that this was done like after everything else was filmed, and they were like, oh, our final cut was like 56 minutes. Well, here's a 4-minute thing we can do. Let's get David in real fast. What's up, Ren?
Well, you basically just made my point forward that it didn't have to be in the episode. I mean, the scene itself is actually pretty good. It just didn't need to be in the episode. It could have been put on YouTube. It could have been a DVD extra. I think back in Series 7 Part 2 with Matt Smith and Jenna Coleman, they do a 2-minute setup for the name of the Doctor called He Said, She Said. And that didn't appear in the episode. It was just a little extra thing. They should have done that with this too.
Fair.
Especially because they then go on to mention all the stuff in this introduction in the actual story.
I didn't realize that because again, like we said, with the strikes and with personal stuff, we are not exactly recording this the day after it aired or anything. So those finer points have been lost on me. I didn't remember that they basically rehashed the information, as you say. So if it's like that, then I understand where you're coming from.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, David says everything he says during this intro to Shirley.
Yeah.
And Donna says everything she says in this intro to her mom. And it's line by line. It's just very, yeah. Anyway.
It's unnecessary. Let's just leave it at that.
It is unnecessary, but it does lead to what we've all come to see here: the Doctor and Donna reunited.
Let's not forget about this awesome intro. Awesome intro. Disney budget at work.
Remember 2008 when the show was good?
Do you mean the new opening credit sequence?
Yeah.
Yes, we have discovered 3D animation and we're not afraid to use it.
Oh my god.
It is really good.
Oh my god. Someone's seen a J.J. Abrams movie. They know what a snap zoom is.
I do like how it looks like the TARDIS is like surfing on the vortex now instead of just flying through and being hit by lightning. It's
a pretty good opening. But then
anyway,
he steps out of the TARDIS into a cold, well, it may not be a cold winter's night, but it's a night in London, and he's just taking it all in because he's regenerated in the previous story.
And is he taking it all in? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut you off here because I noticed something. So,
oh no,
yeah, I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it the fuck up. So he walks into this alley, and I'm like, why does this place look familiar? And one of the things I like to do is I like to go on YouTube and I like to scroll through all the different shorts. I swear I'm not a deviant. And I happened upon this one where this guy was sitting next to what looks like a raver chick. And he's like, okay, I'm completely blindfolded. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and through those 5 questions, I'm going to figure out exactly what sort of job you do. And they're outside a specific building. And I was watching Doctor Who, and I'm like, wait a minute. I know this building. I know this building. They were standing. Yes. Doctor Who himself was standing outside of the Cyberdog rave shop, which, by the way, also sells sex toys, apparently.
Do you want to know the even funnier thing about this this fat cat?
Go on.
It shows up in all 3 of the specials.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Brits. Eating Brits. How to swallow a chicken whole.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways.
I think it's better left that way. But yeah, after he's taking it all in, Cat, be quiet. He's taking it all in.
Phrasing, Rain.
He's taking in his surroundings. You can't do it now. He's taking his surroundings with a big smile on his face. And he's enjoying it. And then, at the goodness of his heart, he goes to help a woman who's struggling with these boxes. I think it's implied the Christmas presents. And it's Donna, and even she puts the boxes back on top.
Whoops.
I mean, to be fair, we understand exactly why he would do that. Donna doesn't.
These two are so good together.
Mind, but still.
These two have not missed a beat.
I love them so much.
I'm so glad they're back together.
If it has to be 2008 when the show was good again, at least they have great chemistry together.
I understand, Frez says that, David Tennant's been in too many things. And he has, particularly 100%. In regards to Big Finish. He has. It's been in media. But they are just so good together.
They are like the comedic like, if I had to choose a doctor companion pair, no offense, Frez, this is above even Clara.
Oh my god, that's
it just is. Donna and
let's move on from this subject. We're also
those words are blasphemy.
We're also introduced to Donna calling out Rose, and we get the famous David Tennant. What?
Yeah. This is a way to introduce Rose, who is Donna's. It's not Billie Piper Rose. It's Donna's daughter. We'll cover Rose a little bit later on, but we get some comedy. By the way, we haven't covered it yet on this podcast. We haven't covered it yet on this podcast, but the scene where they find each other again in Partners in Crime is one of the funniest scenes the show's ever done.
It is. It's so much.
The window.
Now who's remembered 2008 when the show was good?
But the show was really good at that point. It's one of the funniest scenes they've ever done. You know the scene I mean, right?
Yeah, it's
where they're staring at each other at the Adipose building.
It's so good.
It is so good.
It is so good. And they capture some of the energy here, but of course, Donna's lost her memory, and he can't tell her who he is. So he has to just sort of like be discourteous and immediately put, leave. And he runs into her husband, who's now a taxi driver.
Yeah, he's a taxi. Wait, didn't the doctor give them a winning lottery ticket for their wedding?
He did. She gave it all to a charity.
Also, you forgot something very important that happened in between him finding Rose and Donna and then him leaving to go find their husband/dad, respectively, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
This is a big old spaceship crashing.
Oh yeah, and Donna misses it.
Donna's missing it like usual.
That is honestly peak comedic moment. Donna's like trying to put all these boxes back together so that it's easier to carry, and everybody else around her is like, "Oh my gosh, it's a spaceship!" Ah.
Yeah, she dismisses it as a joke that they're all in on.
I love Catherine so much.
The comic timing on that is brilliant. She bends down to rearrange these boxes, and everyone's got like the phones out, like they're open mouthed as the spaceship crashes overhead. And as you say, she misses it all because the plot demands that she does. And I'm glad it does because this is a really, really funny moment.
It really is.
Then he does have a bit of a funny conversation with her husband, Sean. I love the bit about when they call back to Neris from the Runaway Brides. Like, she's fine. After her accident, she's not fine, obviously. She's been fine. The dialogue, for the most part, is just on point, with one or two exceptions we will unfortunately have to get to a bit later on. But Tennant and Tate's dialogue, fantastic. 5 out of 7.
I still don't get that.
It's just a funny joke, Kuchiri.
It's better that way, honestly.
They've tried explaining it to me like twice. I'm so lost.
I mean, there's really no explanation. Some dude put up a bunch of images of him talking to another dude on Facebook, and the other dude on Facebook is an idiot.
And the funny thing about this is that for the first 25, 30 minutes, Donna is in the story, but she's not like the most important part of it. And then we meet her other, we meet one relative for the first time. We also meet a returning relative, her mother Sylvia. Honestly, might be the MVP of the entire episode.
Oh, 100%.
She's so good at this.
She's pretty good. I don't know about MVP, but she's.
When we first see her, she's talking about a giant sausage roll. The giant sausage roll did not appear in the episode. 0 out of 10.
I know. I wanted to see that. We have some sausage rolls here at a local gas station, and they are so good. I can't even imagine how proper ones are.
I mean, the Starbeast was good, but it didn't have a giant sausage roll in it appear on camera, so 0 out of 10.
5 out of 7.
No.
5 out of 7 is good. This is 4 out of 7.
0 out of 10.
4 out of 7.
I am joking. I am joking, but also that's very funny, Kat. Well done. I am joking, but also I'm trying to keep that bit alive after John Bain did it, and it was really funny. He needs to like stop streams for like arbitrary reasons. Go 0 out of 10. Thank you for watching the stream, guys.
Oh, Lord.
Even funnier. That's the first stream he does it on. Had a full boyfriend.
I need to watch this now. You still owe me that, Frez.
He wants to name
Thanks, Rain. You just had to mention that.
He wants to name the player character something, and he runs out of characters, and he goes 0 out of 10. Thank you for watching the stream, fellas, and it just turns into the stream is finished image. It's very funny.
Honestly, valid. What was he trying to name the main character?
I can't remember, but he just ran out of characters and then feigned getting upset. And his wife Jenna was also on the stream, just laughing her head off the entire time. Great.
Yeah.
That
I should probably, if I start streaming again, I should probably do that, where I just coerce you guys into playing all these weird dating sims with me. There are
woman
so
does not
many of them.
I'm sorry to tangent, but that poor woman does not deserve the shit she's been put through by TB's so-called fans.
Anyway,
I don't like
back
that.
to another poor woman who's trying everything her best to do good with her daughter and
Oh,
granddaughter.
you are smooth with these transitions, Kuchiri, let's say.
He's had practice. We keep going off on tangents, so
That was smooth as butter. Yeah, the new character is Rose.
Rose
Donna's
Noble.
daughter. Rose Temple Noble. I think she's just shortened to Rose Noble now. Yasmin Finney plays this character.
Not
I'm
that
gonna say
Yaz.
Not that Yaz, no. No, because this Yaz actually has some agency. Yes, I went there.
She actually gets screen time where she's not just, background fluff.
Yeah. And the character is trans, played by a trans person. So there's that representation again that you mentioned earlier with the wheelchair thing.
Mm-hmm. And Russell T Davies is an evil piece of shit.
Whoa. I know what you're talking about, but that's going a bit.
Not exactly the choice of words I would have used for that. I was going to say he put his foot in his mouth, but
he gave meaning to Rose's dead name.
Yeah, I was going to get to this,
which is horrendous. And then the thing is, I get the reference. Rose's dead name translates to healer. Donna was thinking about the doctor when naming.
It translates to doctor. It's even worse than that. It translates to physician, which is just doctor.
Well, no, what I was saying was healer, which, if you remember, River Song was like, you named yourself for being a healer, like back in Matt Smith era. But
I mean, remember what Paul McGann's final words were? Physician, heal thyself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that Donna still had the doctor in her brain when she was naming her child. And then the child decided to take another name from the past as her own. RTD is an evil son. What's up?
Honestly, I would rather hear this from a trans person to see if this is actually something that is evil, because plenty of parents come up with meaningful names for their children, and then their children discard those when they rightly come out as who they actually are. But maybe Frez has a little bit more clarity, because I know he's been talking to trans people.
Yeah, well, I have been reading the works of the trans, and but here's my take on it. It's that it's not a good. I get the idea, Donna has that lingering doctorness in her brain, and so she named her child, who was assigned male at birth, after a name that means doctor, which you can almost get. But isn't there another instance of Donna being influenced by the Time Lord stuff in her brain in the episode, like the lottery ticket? And so we can just rely on that and don't have to do this whole dead name thing and give the dead name symbolic meaning. I mean, it's far more powerful, in my opinion, that Rose chooses her own name when she strives to make her own identity. And that is sort of tied into Doctor Who stuff, considering what we have at the end with her splitting the meta-crisis malarkey, and that being what fixes Donna. So, but there is also the bad optics of you didn't mention the clip where he says this, Kuchiri, where he then is like, because he's on a podcast, and one of the people on the podcast is Juno Dawson, a trans Doctor Who author who she wrote some 13th Doctor books. She wrote Redacted, the audio series. I don't know if y'all have listened to Redacted, but a trans Doctor Who voice. And so it's basically her boss saying, "What do you think of this decision that I made, my trans employee?" And so the optics are just a little bit fucked.
Yeah, just
and
a
Julia
bit.
Dawson is forced. She's basically forced. Can I say she? Do they identify as she, her, or?
I'm pretty sure. If not, then
Juno Dawson. If I misgendered, I apologize. Juno Dawson basically has to feign that this is okay, and you can see in Juno's eyes this is not okay.
But
Yeah.
that brings us to, and I mean, well, we don't need, we can jump around. We don't need to go and then this happens, then this happens.
No, we're just covering the important bits.
Well, if we're talking about trans representation, we should talk about the other major scene is Rose getting harassed in the street by transphobes.
That's what we've just talked about.
Well, we didn't talk about that part so much.
This is the scene where she gets dead named.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
we
what
talked about
RTD's
RTD's
comment was about.
We didn't talk about what actually happens in the show, which is
she just gets catcalled by a bunch of assholes.
Where they're like,
I mean, we don't need to go too much into that.
Well, I mean, no, but I think it's important to, because this is. Let me just reformulate my thoughts here for just a second here.
While you do that, I'm just going to point out, if we're going to be proper allies, we should be 100% willing to call out the gross, nasty stuff.
Yeah,
like obviously we are not the voices for trans people, but if we want to be absolute allies, we should be able to look at something and say, that seems really fucked up. What do trans people think?
My issue is not so much the what you just said there. It's more the fact that, okay, he talked to a trans person after he'd written it.
Mm.
And also a trans person who is his worker, who has to, basically go along, or there's the possibility she could be fired.
That too, but also the fact that he talked to Gina Dawson after he'd written it and not before. As far as I know, maybe he did consult with Gina Dawson beforehand. That's not a matter of public record, but Frezno, go ahead.
Okay. I want to stop dragging RTD for a second and talk about what's in the show instead of he did this, kill him.
I guess.
Okay, but like what's actually in the show is we have Rose walking down the street and these assholes yell her dead name. They're like, "Oh, give us a kiss! Oh, you look fancy!" Ha 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 ha! Typical transphobic bullshit. And Donna is outraged at her behalf. She's like, "I ought to fuck get those kids." And Rose, and this is, from what I gather, part of the trans girl experience. You just have to you can't fight every battle. You just have to kind of roll with it and say, you know what, fuck those guys. I don't care. You got to fight the important battle. At least I think that's it. Trans folk out there listening, if I got that wrong, apologize. Just now I try the best here. But what impressed me was that this is, for the first time in quite a while, Doctor Who feels like it's about something in the real world. Now, RTD has stepped in it a bit with that, of course. But now, when I first was talking about this, when there was only one special, I likened it to, it's not perfect, but it's nothing quite so fucked up as the systems aren't the problem, or now they'll see the real you. Just ethically cratered shit that's in bullshit Doctor Who that's all about macrocosmic lore about itself. This is Doctor Who that has a point to make about the real world, about the trans experience, about this transphobia, about living with it and dealing with it and reflecting the modern world. And that impressed me, if nothing else. Kat?
Honestly, who I really want to hear from? I want to hear from Yasmin Finney and how she felt during this scene. Because, she's actually lived through it. She's had to act it out for a TV show. I want to know how she feels about it. And it's like, I think it's really unfortunate that we're probably not going to really get that aspect of it, if only because, she needs a job.
And you know what? Before I let you get in here, Raina, I just want to say, I decided now we're going to link some prominent trans critics, people I respect, like Lena McTeer, Elizabeth Sandifer. I don't know if I can find some others down there, but just get those voices to be heard. So please click down below and read what they have to say on the Star Beast, because at the end of the day, we're just allies doing our best. And sometimes our best ain't enough. And for that, we apologize and strive to do better.
Yeah,
right?
We're just 4 mostly straight white people.
If I could be allowed to actually, speak. Kat, we actually know what Yasmin Finney thought about it, kind of. Because she talks about it on Doctor Who Unleashed.
Okay.
And she basically says that the scene reminded her of the experience she'd had in her own life, where she was bullied at school for who she was when she was male presenting and then transitioned.
Oh God, male presenting.
Well,
That's the term she used.
I know, but it's just.
I know. We'll get to that. We will get to that.
I mean, we know, but yeah. But I can see that there was something true to life to that in her experience from her own words. So that's interesting.
Again, though, is she saying this because while she's talking about this, Russell T Davies is literally in the room with her?
Okay, well now we're getting
it's a
now
case
we're
of
getting
is
the
she
conspiracy
actually
theory
talking
bullshit.
about it?
It's not conspiracy. Does she want to keep her job? That's not a conspiracy. Anyway, Rose is actually the catalyst to move the plot of the episode on because the spaceship that crashed, something came out of it and landed in Rose's shed because she has like a little side hustle business making
Well, not
toys.
in the shed. It landed in an alley near their home.
Yeah, she takes it into the shed. You're right. But she has a side hustle selling toys around the world that she makes.
Which I wish we got more footage of for reasons that will be
imagine if we had an extra 4 minutes to actually look closer.
All right. Fair point. But
yeah, I mean, imagine if they took out that cold opening and they just put more, visuals of those toys in there or something.
But Rose goes into the alleyway and we meet our special guest star, the Meep.
Yay, the Meep.
Voiced by Miriam Margolis, and the Meep is amazing.
I remember when we knew that this was coming to Doctor Who, and for months you were like, I want to say beat the Meep on the screen. You said beat the Meep. I'm going to beep your beat the Meep.
Yeah. And then they just revealed it in the Christmas special. Sorry, in the trailer.
Can I just say the artistry on this puppet, because it actually looks like it's a practical effect, is fantastic.
It's partially isn't.
Yeah, it's an actual puppet that they put a CG mask over.
That sounds about right, yeah.
There are 3 Beat the Meeps used in the episode. There is a CGI Beat the Meep. There is a model puppet. And a person in a costume. And the person in the costume is a ballerina.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
Yeah. To get the movements.
Oh, it must have gotten so hot in there, that poor woman.
She has to keep taking the face bit off, but Cecile Faye, kudos to you because you really helped to make this work. Cecily Faye, sorry, I got her name slightly wrong, but she's credited as the Meep, and Miriam Margolis is the voice of the Meep. So there you go. But the Meep is great.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, I associate Miriam Margolis with the Graham Norton clip where she talks about Laurence Olivier, and it's hilarious because they have a Matthew Perry, rip in peace, on there as well, and is the most uncomfortable hearing Miriam Margolis talk about Laurence Olivier. You really should look that clip up sometime because it's incredible.
I hate to say it, rest in peace, Matthew Perry.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, that happened. No, he's
honestly.
He's gone,
If you guys don't know, they did figure out, or at least I think they've mostly figured out exactly why he died. So
yeah, the autopsy came out today.
Well,
yeah. Do you know how I know that? Because when I went to get a newspaper this morning around the local shop, there's another newspaper I don't get with that big headline on it. Thinking, bloody hell, give the man some dignity. He's dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad and tragic. I mean, I it's like it should. I don't know if it should be a matter of public opinion. Like, oh, he died of this. Oh, look, everybody! Like,
just the worst.
Yeah,
just gutted journalism trash. Who cares so much why he died?
I'm glad they told us because we would have been thinking about that for a while. But also, like, don't make it sensationalists. I really hate those sensationalist newspapers that are always like, this person died because of this reason.
I'm not going to say which newspaper it was that had this particular sensationalist headline. It was not the Daily Mail. No. It was the other newspaper I'm not going to mention, which got a big hit this week when it lost to Prince Harry in court.
I'm not going to mention it because it's the Mirror.
You want to know? You want to know what other newsworthy thing there is? Shirley Bingham.
Again with these transitions.
You are good, but I'm nowhere near finished with the Meep.
Oh yeah, we're still on the meat.
You jumped in. Also, I've just seen the thing in the Discord. What the hell, Kuchiri?
Oh Lord.
That's 4-layer.
But no, Beep the Meep is absolutely adorable, and all the little mannerisms. The scene where David Tennant is trying to get the Meep to run when the soldiers are attacking the house. Come on, the Meep! Come on! And there's the sort of like air running thing, and then the Meep's feet are doing like this, and Moonrunner's going, ah! It's so funny.
I also like the scene where the Meep is inside of the shed, and I'm going to say this right now. In the original comic, they addressed the Meep as a he. So if I go between both of them, that is not misgendering. In the original comic,
right.
he is a he. But he's
fine.
like picking up all these different plushies, and it's like, will you be my friend? And it's honestly really, really cute. And like his poor little hand is hurt and everything, and it's like, why is this thing so cute?
Oh, the hand is a lovely touch because everything about the Meep is cute apart from the hands, which are quite sort of bent and nasty looking. And if you look carefully, the Meep is trying to hide its hands whenever you see it. So that's a really nice little foreshadowing detail.
Yeah.
It's always got its hands
and
tucked into...
like I said, this poor, sweet, innocent little baby is hurt. How dare
And then
they?
Donna pokes it in the eye.
Hey, wait. Hey, wait a
Go
minute.
ahead.
Wait a minute. Kat, I seem to remember another show about a sweet, innocent little baby creature that was hurt, and we take pity. Oh, that's right.
Absolutely not.
No, it tracks. It tracks. It's the art of being
Absolutely not.
It's correct, and you know it. The cute little thing is hurt. 20 minutes later, this motherfucker should have stayed hurt.
I mean, it's
True Doctor
accurate.
Who experience.
It's accurate, and I hate it, but it's accurate.
Yes, because if you he was to the surprise.
But Donna pokes the Meep in the eye because that latest tutorial was so lifelike. Look, it even blinked. What the hell?
Ah!
Okay.
Trailer, so it was kind of spoiled. What was not spoiled, about should have been, is the scene where, again, slightly controversial. We pause in the middle of a life and death situation to ask the alien baby what its pronouns are.
Rain, that's a very dismissive way of putting that scene.
I mean, all right, sorry, but
At least it fits into Rosa's character because she's the one asking, and she makes a very good point. It's like you don't know someone's pronouns immediately by just looking at them. Some people will assume because obviously we are sort of like in a whole binary type thing, but you'll never really know somebody unless you
Binary.
ask.
Binary.
Yes, I know.
We'll get to that in a minute.
But yes, you're right. And sorry, Frezno, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say this is it's there is that old right-wingy joke of the trans people, they're like, did you just assume my gender? But this is done like sincerely, and it kind of works.
Is it done sincerely? I'm not sure. I think the problem with it is that it's just the placement of it. It kind of breaks things up too much. It's a bit clunky.
I mean,
to be fair, they haven't been attacked yet. They're attacked after the Meep is asked his
I
pronouns.
will accept that the soldiers don't show up until after this scene. So yeah, fair enough. I was from the first time.
And the thing is, the thing that's kind of weird, and it's the doctor like, oh man, billions of years I've never thought about asking for pronouns. What are your pronouns? I mean,
the Meep's answer is great.
They're the definitive article, like the Frezno.
No, I do love the end of the doctor where the
Killing
Meep
with these
says,
segues.
my pronouns are the Meep. I always refer to myself as the Meep, the definitive article. And the doctor says like, oh, I do that.
Yeah.
It's cute.
It is cute. And then the soldiers come in to attack the house.
We
The house
get
gets
new
huge
powers.
blown about of it. And Donna's very unhappy about this. There's also the Wrath Warriors, who are also from the Star Beast comic.
Oh, hey, Cat. Someone else has wings.
I hate it. I hate it so much. Everybody but Naruto.
It's Christmas, so something Paul McCartney.
The mood is right. The mood is right.
Are we going to talk about the new powers of the
The mood is right.
screwdriver?
We can briefly touch on it. Yeah, it can now generate force fields. What?
It can also be a completely touchscreen PC.
Again, what?
This is fine.
I'll allow it.
What the sonic screwdriver gain new powers? What is this? 2008 when the show was good?
I'll allow it. So,
And it still don't work on wood.
but it can resonate concrete.
Of course.
We then get a funny scene where they've got to crawl through another person's house. And the
My
other
people's
person
houses.
listens to music on the headphones, so they don't notice at all.
By the way, during all of this, people are pointing out that these are Pixar references.
Yeah.
Because, the spork from the fourth Toy Story movie is on the shelf in the background in Donna's kitchen. And the guy sleeping is meant to be the guy from Toy Story 2, where, Woody and others are trying to sneak past him and all the snacks are all over the place and he's asleep watching TV.
I was wondering where the Disney influence would be, and I guess that answers that.
Man, I can't wait for the Maleficent cameo in the church on Ruby Road.
Oh, God.
Actually, this reminds me, we should mention, is it Rarth? Is that how you pronounce it? How you
Wrath.
pronounce Rarth. Okay, so the Rarth warriors, they're not just like shooting directly at the Meep. The ship that landed was being surrounded by a bunch of unit soldiers, and that's actually where we meet Shirley, who's like one of the greatest characters I've ever seen in my life.
She's so cool.
I love her so much. But
She is
they're
great.
obviously trying to figure out what's up with this, giant rocket. And so they cut open a panel and they get into it, and there's like this psychedelic energy that takes them over. And so the Rareth are fighting unit soldiers that have been brainwashed.
And the other unit soldiers are fighting the brainwashed unit soldiers as well. We should point that out.
Yeah, it's a big mess.
There's a big
giant
battle. People
war.
are falling left and right. No, the two Wolf Warriors are completely unharmed. They're shooting down soldiers. And in all the midst of this, our heroes get to to Sean's taxi to escape. And then we get the big reveal, which you'll know if you know anything about the comic book, that this Meep is not the cuddly, cute creature it seems to be. And so we
See the meme.
The doctor, Frezno, go ahead.
Holy shit! Stones of Blood reference.
Yeah. The wig. But before that, the doctor checks on one of the fallen soldiers and checks his pulse. It's actually the leader that we saw get possessed. And he's like, have we got this all wrong? And you're like, okay, what's going on there? Then they drove into a underground car park. And then the doctor pulls on a judge's wig
I love
and
it. I
summons
love it.
the two warriors. And guess what? Who you thought was good was bad, and who you thought was bad was good. Because the Wolf Warriors didn't kill a single soldier. They just stunned them.
Yeah. It turns out that they're not there to kill the Meep, as the Meep has lied to everybody about, but instead they're trying to capture one of the greatest galactic criminals of all time. Who's the Meep?
Yeah. And I do love how they just reveal how the Meep is evil. It's like, now, fair play. The Meep, what's your defense? Oh, the heck with this, and just shoots the two warriors.
I love the facial transition from cute and cuddly to absolutely menacing.
Yeah.
Great
as one
artistry.
person-
They are really, really using that Disney money.
I don't know who actually said it, unfortunately, so I can't credit them. But the person that said they went from cute and cuddly to a genocidal Care Bear, yes.
I love that. I love that.
Because the Furby comparison is too obvious. It does look a lot like a Furby.
Oh god, it does
Also,
look
I
like
just
Furby.
briefly
Fuck.
points out that an acquaintance of mine, Cat, not you, Cat, a different Cat, on
not that
Twitter.
one.
There's a clip on
Cheating on me with
Twitter.
another cat?
No, I'm not two-timing anybody. What are you talking about, honey? It's one of Casey's pals,
There goes my
and
visa.
she's got a she's got a video on her Twitter with her with a Furby, and she says to the Furby 2 words: "Among Us." And the Furby repeats it. Yeah, the Furby repeats it back to her with like a lot of reverb, and then she just loses her shit laughing. I'll link it later, but she might not want it to appear on this particular video, so I'll just link it privately later. But it's quite funny. Her reaction is very funny. But yeah, cute cuddly Meep, no more. The thing's evil, and the hands were a nice foreshadowing of that. So the Meep shoots the 2 Dwarf warriors who are actually allies the whole time. They're forced into early retirement. It's all very sad. The Meep then has an army of soldiers which take the nobles hostage and knock the Doctor out.
I do like that whole thing where the Doctor's like, "Oh, you should totally take us all hostage," and he starts to try to do like a classic Doctor speech, and they just knock him out.
Yeah, the Meep just raises a hand, and the lead soldier just hits him with the butt of the rifle and knocks him spark out. Can we talk about the scene where the Meep is talking about its plan and
Absolutely.
the soldiers at present? Those extras must have had the time of their life. Because as the Meep is talking, it's like, oh, the feel like, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and come back to the stars and conquer it. Hail the Meep! And they're going, hail to the Meep! Hail to the Most High. That's also in the original comic book, by the way. But the extra that I think has the most fun of all the soldiers is a woman who is in charge of the control panel, and she gets to say like a load of sci-fi shit. That's the job I would want. Like, can I be possess soldier number 5, please? Who get to talk like open the volcanic thrusters opening, sir. Things like that. She's just living her best life, and I appreciate her for it. And so there is a way to solve this, but before we get to that, you already mentioned her, Kat, the best new character.
Sylvia.
No,
Shirley.
new character. Shirley Bingham.
Sylvia is
serious.
always in my mind as one of the best.
Shirley
characters.
gets 3 or 4 scenes and steals the show.
Oh, 100%.
And triggers idiots on Twitter.
She's first introduced. The Doctor was sneaking around the rocket site, and Shirley eventually notices him, but doesn't tell the unit soldiers. And then we just cut to him having a conversation with her, and she's Unity's scientific advisor, which is a job the Doctor used to hold.
She also knows who he is, so even better, there's none of that, oh, there's this weird guy sneaking around. We should arrest him bullshit.
No, Shirley is 100% on board with the Doctor getting involved.
I love that.
She just can't officially say this because, you know, there's kind of protocols to the Doctor being on Earth, which are realized 2 episodes later in the giggle, by the way, where Shirley will return. Thank goodness. But there's that scene. And then as the Doctor is being led away, and the Nobles are being led away by the possessed soldiers, Shirley returns, and her wheelchair has weapons in it.
Man, how very Davros is of her.
Kuchiri shush.
Oh my God.
I will say one thing about this wheelchair, and I am if this is offensive, I am so sorry. So she has put weapons in her wheelchair, but she doesn't put a hover function in it.
It's not offensive because that's how they separate her from the action. They have like burning debris she can't get through.
Well, it's not even just that. It's also like the reason the soldiers go up to the rocket and get taken over, but the reason she can't is because it's up some stairs.
Yeah, and
I'm not sure how I
soldier
feel about that.
apologizes. The soldier apologizes, says, you know, we didn't have time to have a rep. It's fine, just get up there and sort it out. So she's not offended.
That's the reason that she doesn't get possessed and can help save the day.
Yeah, true.
Well, it's very good, and honestly, it does point out, like I said before, how the world is not adapted to wheelchair and other disabled people.
But Ruth Madeley is a fantastic actress because she's in this. She was also in the Big Finish stories as a companion called Hebe Harrison.
Oh, okay.
And earlier this year, she also appeared in a non-Doctor Who thing, a 7-part drama about a real-life serial killer in the UK. But there's a 5-minute scene where it's just her on the phone talking to a potential victim and getting her to safety. It is amazing. obviously the real life circumstances are harrowing as hell, but the acting in that scene, it's just her talking on a phone, incredible. Frezno, go ahead.
Hey, Kat, you know how
Oh.
Rain just mentioned that Ruth Madeley was a Big Finish companion?
Uh-huh.
Guess which doctor she went with?
Is it 6?
Yep,
6. And Mel.
Boy.
6
Oh,
and
boy.
9, yeah.
Mel, huh?
We'll talk a bit more about Mel much later.
Mel, hey?
Mel cameoed in Power of the Doctor last year? Why would we have to talk about her again?
Melanin. No, wait, that's not right. So Shelley helps to save the day by tranquilizing unit soldiers in the neck with her wheelchair, and also shooting a rocket out of her wheelchair. But the actual savior of the day is, of course, Donna, because there's a scene where she starts to remember the doctor. She calls him by the doctor's name and runs off to help him. And Sylvia's like, she called him doctor. She remembers. Oh no. And
yeah,
then
for those of you who don't remember, way back when the Doctor and Donna became Donna Doctor and Dr. Donna, he had to erase her memories in a really controversial scene because if she remembered anything, she would almost immediately die.
Because her brain can't handle all that time, Lordness. What's up, Frizz?
Well, okay. You recapped that pretty well, but I think you could have honestly stretched out the recap a little more, say by another 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That would have done it just fine.
I mean, third
I
time's
mean,
charm,
it's not
right?
it's not like they tell us 5 times in this episode. Oh wait.
Well, yeah,
Not
I
like the
mean,
entire episode
this
is about
is,
that or anything.
the big thing about the episode. It's like as soon as they announce, oh, they're bringing Donna back and David Tennant here, it's like the main thing you're thinking is, what are they going to do about Journey's End? They wiped her mind and had this terrible tragic end for her. Is RTD going to undo it? And what's fucking interesting is that even though we knew damn well that she was in the next specials, when we get to this scene, I honestly, for a fraction of a second, bought that this was going to be the end of Donna Noble, that he was doing the sad, tragic end. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know.
That's how good the actors are.
Yeah.
And I want to point out another cheeky little thing. When we're doing the scene where the Doctor's in the spaceship and he has to deactivate because the Meep is doing some horse shit with the space drive that's going to crack the Earth in half or some
It's
bullshit.
a dagger class ship. It
Whatever,
basically stabs the Earth and launches itself using that motion or whatever.
It destroys all the roads in London, but in a way that can magically be repaired with no visible damage a second later after everything's fixed.
Like magic. But
hit the undo button.
I could make a joke about the state of London's actual roads right now, but I'm not going to because it's too expensive.
but
Oh, no. I was talking about the state of roads in area of St. Louis now mean. That is just awful. Worse than the roads in this episode. Anyway, what's up, Fred?
Anyways, but this scene. So we have the Doctor. He's got to save the world and shit. And here's the way I put it. If I had a nickel for every time David Tennant and a noble were separated between plexiglass, and it was either save them or save everybody, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
It's the same amount of nickels I'd have when a YouTuber gets removed from a video game.
Oh God!
And so we have the scene. David Tennant cannot activate all the buttons because this big thing of glass has come down between them, and Donna needs to be the one to activate the buttons. But to be able to know which ones are the right ones, she has to remember. It's either sacrifice Donna and give her memories back and have her mind burn, or save the world. And Tennant sadly and solemnly makes Donna Noble remember. And so, as we pay the narrative price, and Donna is finally allowed to remember that she has Dr. Donna power, her immediate reaction is to bitch at him.
Yeah,
she gave away her money. I love that. I love that so much.
I love this.
That is the most Donna thing.
It is. 165 million pounds. What? 165 million pounds, and I gave it up because of you.
I love her so
And
much.
so they
She's
and
so
so they
good.
save the day, but at what terrible cost?
Yeah,
Down
Donna
low.
dies.
Donna is dying in the doctor's arms, and he can't save her. This was the price of our nostalgia. The tragic end. You wanted her back, and
Oops,
and she
psych.
came
That's
back.
not what happens.
Well,
And then
the
she's alive
guards.
again.
No. The guards walk in and is like, "We have orders to kill you." Okay, why aren't you shooting? And David's like, "Oh, just go on with it." And then their brainwashing goes away, and we find out, or one, the brainwashing goes away, and they all go, "What?" David goes, "What?" Donna wakes up, "What?"
Yeah. Rose has the touch. Rose has the power.
Yeah, it
Okay,
turns out
okay.
that having kids is a really great way to get rid of Metacrisis energy. Apparently.
Yep. And everything
If I'm pausing, you can go ahead and talk, Frez. I'm just saying that.
No. Okay, I just want to say there are a million fucking ways that you could have come up with an out to the whole meta crisis. Like you could bullshit anything, literally anything. You know,
Well,
whether
not
or not it's a good
anything.
idea or not, but you know, there's a million good ideas out there. You know, the flibbity flobbity, timey wimey, whatever the fuck. But this is what RTD chose. He chose to have it be the meta crisis was filtered and passed on down the generation to Rose. And she is part Time Lord as well. And so the effect is diminished. The fact that this hinges on Rose's identity and self-discovery and her finding herself as a person, that says something. There's something pretty about that. There's something nice about that resonates with her her finding her own identity that I like. I like that. Kuchiri?
The reasoning behind it is because the doctor is both male and female and not and more.
And binary and non-binary, yeah.
Yeah, well, and they say binary and more, or whatever, non-binary and more. Basically, establishing that the doctor is now not just the Dr. Donna, it's now the Rose Dr. Donna. And yeah, it's awesome. The doctor is everything. They could be non-binary, they could be, trans, they can be
So the
whatever
doctor
they
is
want
a
to.
leaf.
The doctor is a leaf.
The doctor has so much potential that they are the same as a leaf. There you go, Frez. That's just for you.
I hate you.
I have an aneurysm right now. So everything is good. The roads of London somehow glued themselves back together. You can't
A
tell.
lot of soldiers are dead.
A lot of soldiers are dead. I mean, but do we really care about
Wow, cold as hell.
I care about poor George. He had so much potential in this entire thing.
I
and they
mean,
just killed him.
they're as nameless as the human gears that got destroyed the episode after Aruto gained the power to save the human gears.
I care about the two Roth warriors that died trying to help.
Honestly, I really liked all the unit soldiers. They were actually smart about things, so I enjoyed them, personally.
Frezno, you can speak.
Well, you have to say that I can speak so I know,
Honestly,
Frezno,
I'm just
you
not a
can
big
speak.
fan of doing that. It takes us out of the flow, in my opinion, every single time we have to say, okay, go ahead.
Well, I mean...
So I just pause, and then you can go.
Yeah.
Frezno, you can speak.
Hey,
Okay,
Frezno, did you know you can speak?
Say something, Frez. I'll stop being an asshole for 5 seconds. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi.
I think we actually upset him. Sorry.
I'm just waiting to be sure.
Go ahead.
Frez, we love you.
See, I said it. Are we going to talk about the line? I know some of you want to talk about the line.
Sadly, we have to. So the Meep is led away to be imprisoned because the Meep has a very, very long lifespan. Before that happens, the Beep drops the Beep. God damn it!
Beep, beep,
The Meep
a Meep.
drops a cryptic hint about something coming down the line. Wait till I tell the boss. They're not going to like this.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, but the boss does not show up in the specials, as far as we know. That's for the next series.
Well, yeah, no, they asked David Tennant during the podcast, and David Tennant was like, "Oh, I have no clue." So it was like established early on behind the scenes that the boss is a Ncuti Gatwa villain.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Is that actually how you pronounce his name? Because if so,
Yes.
I've been horribly mispronouncing
Yeah,
it.
no,
I'm
no,
so
it's
sorry.
fine. Yeah, Ncuti Gatwa.
Ncuti Gatwa. Okay.
Yeah,
I
no,
will take
you're on tape during this recording saying Nikuti.
Look, I've never heard his name out loud. Okay, I stay away. I stay away from all the Doctor Who media and stuff. I don't like being spoiled. I want it to be a surprise as much as it possibly can be. Okay.
I like how in that moment Kuchiri became the lawyers from The Simpsons, telling Kent Brockman we got it on tape. So he has to pay them a fine. That's what Kuchiri just did to Kat. Just then.
Look, I'll get you a really nice Christmas present. How's that, Kuchiri?
Okay.
Literal shit posting.
So anyways, they have to figure out a way to make sure that Donna and Rose don't fucking die from the meta-crisis shit. What do? They
Divvy
Well,
it up, you know.
Let it
Well,
go.
Donna and Rose
Can't hold it back
knows how to get
anymore.
rid of it. Donna and Rose knows because they've dealt with this for a while. They just need to let it go. You know, something a male presenting Time Lord would not know.
Yeah.
Put the picture up.
So
Okay. As the resident woman of this podcast, I'm going to chime in real fast here. Sorry for interrupting you, Rain, but I need to do this.
no, please do.
This is fucking bullshit.
Yes.
Do you know how much women hide behind everything? Like, if have any of you guys seen the Barbie movie?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, there is this amazing speech that happens in it. Anybody who has seen the Barbie movie knows the speech. It's near the end. It is about how bullshit it is to be a woman. And I am not going to, try to replicate the speech because the delivery is perfect. It is so true. But basically, to sum it up, women are expected to be a lot of shit. Like a lot of shit. We're meant to be pretty. We're meant to be thin. We're meant to be a homemaker. We're meant to be independent, but not too independent. So on and so forth. So the idea that women's default is just letting the shit go. Oh, fuck no. No, because the moment that we start to experience anything, we're meant to bottle it all up. We're supposed to be independent enough to not have to do all this. But, if we don't express our emotions properly, well, that's a problem too. So the idea that it's just, oh, we're women, therefore we know how to let shit go. No, because we're expected to keep
Also-
that shit in.
Also, the male presenting line is a problem for another reason.
Oh my god, yes. Just
It
the
insults trans
idea
men.
that. Yeah,
insults trans men.
it's like there are so many people out there who cannot express shit properly, and it doesn't matter what gender they appear to be. It just is.
Let's
This is such
just
a
even go
generalization.
like lore-wise. The Doctor was literally a woman less than 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
Spent years as a woman. Did Jodie thinking about their best friend that it killed them that they had to leave behind? It killed them that they had to do that. Did they not think, oh, now that I'm a woman,
Oh,
I
I'm
know
sorry.
how
Do
to...
you mean she who is never mentioned again in this entire series of specials? Ms. Yasmin?
I was about to say, in response to that, Kuchiri, the idea that Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who could fix Donna is laughable because this woman couldn't even give Dan a fucking house. She couldn't even leave Yaz on.
Well,
good
that's
terms with
all
her.
right
Here's
then.
an ice cream cone. Here's an ice cream cone.
Oh, we lost Ray.
Damn it,
I'm
we
going to
lost
continue.
Ray.
I'm going to continue. I'm keeping on this train of thought. couldn't even give Yaz anything other than an ice cream cone. And in my review, I said she couldn't even fix half the universe. And then the very fucking next episode, we actually get a line that says she didn't.
Well,
Anyway,
that's
so-
all right then.
It's just a really not necessary line, and it robs us also of real potential for drama in the next 2 episodes, where you could have it where the meta crisis isn't fixed and they need to go and do something to fix it, and maybe that's what leads into Wild Blue Yonder. Maybe the Doctor travels there to fix Donna, and it
Honestly,
sets
I
off-
kind of like how we get to travel with the Doctor in this. It's really funny and on brand for Donna.
It's fine, but this is just such a wasted opportunity. Oh, Donna and Rose are slowly dying. Oh, just let it go.
I mean,
Honestly, though, I have a potential fix for this. Because, like, okay, so when the Donna first got the metacrisis energy, we could see her, quote-unquote, glitching out. She was having trouble. That's where this whole, binary thing came from, right? Because that was, like, the last thing she was doing.
Yeah.
What if, instead of this whole just let it go and male presenting, can't figure it out bullshit, they were just like, oh, it has spread out enough that our minds are not overwhelmed by the metacrisis anymore, so we can think it through together as a group and figure out a way to get rid of this.
So much better than what we got.
yes. Fine.
So much better an idea.
And they could do something like, I mean, remember in what was it? The one with the town named Christmas with Matt Smith.
Kind of the Doctor.
The Time of the Doctor.
That's it. In that one, the Time Lords reach through a rift and are able to gift regeneration energy to the Doctor. What if they just did that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if now that we're saying the Timeless Child is probably the actual canon, that was just the Time Lords throwing out regeneration energy as a like a
They still
gaslight.
threw it out though. Even without all that stuff, they were still able to gift it to someone, to throw it out there. Why couldn't they just figure that out and say, oh, the Time Lords have this ability, let's try and figure out how to do that, and then they could resolve it that way. And it would be so much better because they wouldn't have that bullshit.
Ideas?
Sorry, what?
Just one small problem, Kat. What Time Lords?
Yeah. What Time Lords is right. Also, remember 2013 when the show ran out of ideas?
Sadly, yes. But even without the Time Lords, they still could have done something like that, where instead of, oh, we're just gonna let it go, even though Donna is the biggest grudge-holding person I've ever seen in my
I
life.
can feel Fred staring at me from here. I am joking. Because 2013 gave us Clara, and that's great. It was a joke. Anyway,
let's
even
get off
just
this
have the
subject.
Doctor reabsorb the metacrisis energy in some way, because it's diluted or something. I mean, bullshit.
he did it again.
Anyways.
Claraposting is the new shit posting.
Instead of playing the Clara shit, how dare you?
Let's talk about the climax.
And now
Talk
I
about
am
that
Russell T
fantastic
Davies.
climax.
And now I'm Russell T Davies putting my foot in my mouth. Just my whole foot. Yeah, so the TARDIS has had a makeover. I really like
amazing.
it.
It's amazing.
I really like it.
The round
got
things are
ramps.
back.
I mean, it beats painting some round things on some curtains.
Honestly, it kind of really reminds me of the first Doctors in a little bit of a way. Was it the first Doctors? The second Doctors? Whichever one had the all white TARDIS.
Well, first
interior.
Doctor, but that's technically cheating because it was black and white. So
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Anyway,
But it does look amazing. It even has a coffee machine. I'm sure that will not play into the effect. Oh, Donna spilled coffee on the TARDIS console. Where we go?
it's not like Donna lost her job because she accidentally spilled coffee on the computer.
I love the delivery in this. Like, she's just talking about how, yeah, no, I lost my last job because I spilled coffee on the computer. And, like, she goes to make the whatever with her hands, but she's holding onto the coffee. And, like, mid-throw. It's like, oh, I did it again.
People were speculating that she had actually done this on purpose because she was being influenced by the toy maker in the giggle. No, she was just really clumsy and threw it on the console.
Yeah.
That's so much better.
And honestly, we don't get the toy maker whole thing. The only reason the toy maker is able to appear is because what happens in Wild Blue Yonder anyways.
Oh, yeah.
At least according to the giggle.
And next time we'll talk about that. And my God, I'm looking forward to that.
By the way, I also want to give some kudos to this episode. The reason that Donna gets into the TARDIS at all, because she's been burned before. She knows for a fact the TARDIS never goes where it's supposed to go. And see, if she's really hesitant and the doctor's like, come on, we'll go and visit your granddad. I like the fact that early in the episode, they sort of imply that Will is like deceased, which unfortunately his actor did die, which is the worst thing in the goddamn world. But like, the doctor's like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry for your loss. And everybody else is like, he's just in an old folks' home. What are you talking about?
He's not dead, you idiot.
And honestly, considering what happens in the next episode with Wild Blue Yonder, perfect. Just perfect.
That scene did make me tear up.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
I'll explain why next time, but for real personal reasons, that made me tear up.
R.I.P. Bernard Cribbins. May you forever live with the angels.
In addition to the whole, we've lost Bernard Cribbins thing, there was a personal reason as well. But that was
Please
Starbase.
do not milkshake duck.
No, it's about me.
No, I know. I'm just saying, with Bernard, please don't.
Speaking of heaven, let's talk about next time. Wild Blue Younger.
Well, do you not want to talk about what you thought, or do we just say it was pretty great, 5 out of 7, and move on? Yeah.
We're going to talk about Wild Blue Yonder next time.
I think we all enjoyed the episode, didn't we?
Yeah, it's a solid 4 out of 5.
Clunky bits. Unfortunately, Yasmin Finney got some of the worst dialogue written for her.
Yeah.
Because some of her delivery came across as a bit wooden. I will say right now, I have not seen her in anything else. I know she's in Heartstopper. I don't know if she's better in that, or if this is just the writing not suiting her. But she came across as a bit wooden in certain scenes. Again, not a criticism, just an observation. I think it's only fair to point that out. Kat, go ahead.
I'm going to say something potentially extremely controversial, and I'm not taking it back, and I do not care what happens. So, maybe the best people to write any sort of woman character, be they trans or cis or otherwise, is not the white males.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chibnall kind of failed, and Russell T Davies does kind of fail. I don't know of any female characters from the original Pat Mills and David Gibbons story, but they had a woman directing it at the very least, right?
Yeah.
Rachel Talele, who directed all the Capaldi era finales.
Yeah.
And who also did Tank Girl. So
Yeah.
Tank Girl is what a fucking movie. I really like Tank Girl. Please see Tank Girl.
But I would personally, if I had to give this, because I hate doing this, but if I had to give this a rating out of 10, I'd give it an 8 to an 8.5.
That feels right to me. Look. At the end of the day, Doctor Who is good again, everybody, and not in spite of itself. This is genuinely good Doctor Who, and it's such a refresher. And the fact that it does say something about the material world that we live in, and it basically is an ally, kind of fudging it a bit, unfortunately, but an ally nonetheless, proclaiming trans rights. There's something to be said for that impresses just a little now. It would have been better.
It tries.
As Kat said. It tries, yeah. And that would have been better if we had, a marginalized voice, a trans person, a woman writing, someone of color, maybe, instead of the white guy. Well, again, RTD is a gay man, so there is that going for it. But
but it's still 3 very white men.
That's true. But it's kind of, we're taking what we can get here. It's good Doctor Who again, and that is nice. And so I enjoyed the episode.
Even better, nobody has at all mentioned that the music was composed by Murray Gold. Fuck.
Oh shit!
You still said Murray Gold?
next time,
Well, I think Rainiac might have something to say about that, or something else. I don't know.
No, I don't mind talking about Murray Gold until we did all three specials because he's done all three of them and he will be doing the composing going forward, so that's fine. No, I want to talk about the next episode because they made a particular choice with promoting this episode. They didn't show a next time trailer
Oh, yeah, that's right.
for Wild Blue Yonder, and you know what? Right choice.
Now, this is interesting because we have lambasted the Chivalier in the past for barely promoting itself, going to such a degree as to delete its own social media presence in advance of the flux. With more promotion, that might have been made a big thing of, but they just kind of did it.
Ugh.
And yeah, if you've seen Wild Blue Yonder, you know exactly why they chose not to reveal anything, and that's absolutely 100% the right call.
See,
Yes.
they actually had something of substance to hide instead of just boilerplate nonsense that they barely wanted to promote.
I'll talk about this more next time, but I couldn't see the episode until not the following Monday, until 2 days later on Monday. And I kept off the internet to not be spoiled, and it blew me away with what they showed in the episode, and it wouldn't have had that impact if I'd known.
Yeah.
That's why you hide things. That's why you don't do a trailer for certain episodes. Just don't do,
I'm pretty sure they didn't show a trailer because, Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi was going to show up. I heard it from the grapevine. That's why they didn't show a trailer, because it was spoiled.
I felt sorry for the producer and the director who had to go on Twitter and say, guys, there's no returning characters in this. We just thought it was cool to not show you a trailer. We've got an episode that we want to hide from you,
reference.
Be surprised. And they
after letting it go, the Doctor and Donna have to go into the unknown.
Where can they find us, Rainiac?
Rainiac, where can you find this lovely people?
The return of the soundbox.
I'm so happy right now.
The soundbox, the soundboard. What the hell? The soundboard. I just invented this new thing called the sound. You can find us lovely people on Twitter at Reviews Doctor, and individually we are at Rainiac Deviant, at the Freezing Inferno, at Conquered Usurper, and at the Kuchiri. See, I can do the speed transitions too and then stumble through them like an idiot. It's twitch.tv/Rainiac/Kuchiri, or the Kuchiri /Freezing Inferno, and /Concave Usurper.
Happy Fresmas.
Happy Fresmas.
Hey.
Yeah, you're doing your Fresmas streams. You are, at the time of recording this on Saturday the 16th, you are 4 streams into it.
Yeah.
You've already done 3 of our picks.
That's because nepotism. All you guys commented first.
That's not nepotism. That's just getting in it when the iron's hot.
But oh wait, Kuchiri's choice hasn't been done yet. Oh wait, that's tomorrow.
Nepotism. Who am I? Steph Coburn?
Look, I was literally just waiting for you to go ahead and open that thing up. I was watching the chat intently, like, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to get fucking in there.
I posted it in a chat. I can't help it. The Discord was broken. That chat wasn't.
I actually gave him my pick before the entries officially opened, and he still put me third.
because I'm anti-nepotism. Like, what if I got 11? Like, what if I got 11 comments and you didn't comment, and then the 12th comment is like, oh, please, I can't do that.
I did say I would comment when I could, but it was just to make sure I got my picking because I wasn't sure I'd be around.
But Frizz, wasn't I the first one for Fresmas?
You were.
Anyway, you can buy Back to the Info volumes 1 and 2 by Lena Fenrir Mattia. By the Tower of the Trees by Sean Dillon. By the Shadow of the Gallifreyan, volume 1, including Lena and Sean and this guy.
What?
This Canadian
Kuchiri's
guy
in a
right
book?
Here. No, this Canadian guy right here.
I could
All
be.
right. Oh yeah. I put
my email's open if you want me in your book.
Write some samples first.
He's already trying to take the completionist spot. Don't give him ideas.
What? Like it's hard?
I mean, all you have to do is just steal a bunch of donated money, apparently, and you're gold.
Yeah. Money for charity. Give money to the charity. Was that so hard?
I mean,
he cared. No. The completion cared so much about dementia, he forgot to donate the money.
oh my God.
Oh, that's cold.
Sick
Oh
of that
my
maniac!
God.
Say goodnight.
Emotional damage.
That is the equivalent of a cane yanking me off the stage. Good night, folks. And we'll see you next time for Wild Blue Yonder.
Yay.
Yay.
Hopefully the next podcast will not come out in summer.
And to discuss the Starbeast with me, I'm joined by my 3 co-hosts. That's right, 3 co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left. Shit.
You got this, buddy.
I'm sorry.
No, honestly, that should just be the intro. It's like, shit.
Oh, shit.
And then to my virtual right, fuck.
That's going to be in the blooper reel, but that's going to be the blooper reel. But
5 months, people. He hasn't done this in 5 months. Cut him some slack. I'll be looking in the
I'm
comments.
not trying to give him some slack. It's just really funny if that would be the intro.
I mean, she's not wrong, but also we can't have that be the intro.
No.
All right, deep breaths, buddy. You got this.
All right. Thank you for motivational speaker, Kuchiri. I had an intro and it's not there for some reason. It just says question mark. I don't know why.
Now you know why I dropped doing this bit in my podcast.
I've got it.